Get back to Miami and the FII summit with a very special guest with David Faber. David.
Yeah, very timely guest, of course, would be timely every day, actually, given everything we talk about, joining us for a first interview since Elon Musk made that $97+ billion unsolicited bid for the nonprofit part of OpenAI, is OpenAI CFO Sarah Friar. It's a CNBC exclusive. Sarah, nice to see you.
David, great to see you, too.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, why don't we start, we'll get to Musk in a second, but why don't we start with the weekly average user number, 400 million. It was 300 million only in December. So obviously, I don't know, is your growth curve trending upward?
It is. Thank you for asking about that. So yeah, it's up 33% since we last gave you a number, which was early December. So 400 million people, it's about 5% of the world's population, now use OpenAI every single week. And in fact, if you looked at our daily actives, you'd see that that number is also quite high. What is that telling us? It's telling us that there's huge value here. Consumers are seeing ways to make their lives easier. It might be, help me with a recipe for dinner tonight, help me book a vacation. And then, of course, that's trending into the workplace as well, with 2 million enterprise users or customers today, which is super exciting as well.
Right. I want to talk about consumer and enterprise. You know, you're a private company, but the growth rate on revenues, I mean, there's some who think you're going to hit, what, 11 billion plus in revenues this year. Is that a number that is within the realm of possibility?
It's definitely, we have not given out our revenue numbers, but thank you for pushing on that.
You're welcome.
But it's definitely in the realm of possibility. We're a company, like we did our first billion in revenue 2 years ago. If you look at companies that defined their era, like Meta, Amazon, and so on, the year after they grew in the close to 100%. We over 3x'd actually, and that momentum is continuing. So we are defining this age of AI with all of our metrics, from users and consumers, from enterprises through to revenue, and even into the scale of our compute ambitions as well.
Yeah, well, again, we want to talk about that. Just doing the quick math, if you even are at 10 billion, that's only 30 times revenues at a $300 billion value. That's a lot less than Palantir, Sarah. You're doing great.
You know, in terms of a multiple to pay for a stock like ours, there's incredible interest at the moment. And I think you're right. Investors look not just at your out-year growth rate when you're young like us, but they say, what could this company look like over the next 5 years? And that's allowing us, as we talk to investors, to be able to achieve valuations that are also, I think, on par with the growth rate and the scale that we're achieving.
Yeah, although there is this concern about commoditization, I think, that's come up a lot in the conversations I've had. You know, for this interview, in fact, I asked ChatGPT, I asked Gemini, and I asked Grok 3 for questions for you. And I have to say, a lot of them were quite similar. I mean, it was similar output. And so I do wonder, is that a concern? And how do you define OpenAI and ChatGPT in terms of the values you're talking about, when conceivably I can go to any number of others and get similar output?
So I think we are so far from being a commodity industry. We are talking about human-level intelligence, not kind of bare metal compute. First of all, our numbers kind of prove that there is this reinforcement cycle here. As we get better and better at innovating, this is how you stop yourself from becoming a commodity. Look at the pace of what we've released, just even in the last few months. Deep Research, Operator, which is the task worker that will go out and book things on the internet for you. The things we're doing within the enterprise to help them do better search and so on. And so it's just been like pound, pound, pound. Almost every single week we release a new feature or a new product. And that's what keeps you far away from being a commodity. I think people are thinking a little bit in the mindset of what I saw when cloud computing first started. There was a view that, oh, this will be a commodity. It's just bare metal. Today, AWS has 38% operating margins. That is not a commodity business. The other piece here that I think keeps you well away from being a commodity is just not that many companies in the end are going to be able to invest to keep up the scale and the pace of innovation. We have managed to punch well above our weight to become effectively a hyperscaler, both in terms of the compute that we're buying and the way we're investing in it. And And I think, again, that stops you very quickly from becoming a commodity. And again, you see it in our numbers and the willingness of consumers and enterprises to come to OpenAI to get what they want in terms of human intelligence.
No doubt, although there are plenty of people who wonder whether ultimately the return will be there on all of this invested capital, the numbers of which are simply staggering in terms of the hyperscalers and what they're spending, not to mention you. Let's talk a bit about that. Stargate was a big announcement a number of weeks ago, the $500 billion number over time. I mean, is that a realistic number to think about in terms of what could actually be spent by you and your partners?
I mean, I think we're going to look back, even at this interview in a couple of years, and smile with actually how small our ambition was. First of all, with Stargate, it was tremendous to get on stage with President Trump and be able to show that we are investing here in the United States, but broadly to bring artificial general intelligence to humanity effectively. Are we going to be able to spend that? Again, if I go back to like prior cycles, in the internet, 2 years out from when Mosaic and the first browsers came, only 2% of today's market cap had been created. So if you think about it, we're 2 years out from ChatGPT launching. Do you think 2% of the market cap of AI has been created? I think probably. And in terms of what we'll need to spend to keep up with getting this pushed out globally, right? We feel so excited about 400 million users. It's only 5% of the world's population. What's it going to take in terms of spend to get to the other 95%? Because people deserve the technology.
They do, but it's going to take